Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Steph's Design Space. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. Today is episode 2 of my junk journal series, and that is making our signatures. So I'm digging through my box right now of the papers that I'm going to be using for my signatures. Now some people do the cover first. I have done the cover first before in other junk journals that I've made, but this one is a little different because I'm not sure I'm not sure how big I need my cover. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make up these signatures and determine the size of the cover. So I went ahead and already folded all of the papers. So basically all you do is you take a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and you fold it in half. And then I use my bone folder to crease it really good so it is folded. What I want to do now though is, and these are my big doilies, I got 3 out because I think I'm going to do 3 signatures, but we're going to see. I don't know yet. It may be more. So what I want to do is kind of separate the papers out from double-sided, you know, cardstock. Like this is thicker. So the thicker paper over here, because I do have some thinner paper and I can just kind of feel it and know. So how's everyone doing? And the only reason I'm separating these out is because like I want to make sure that there's kind of an even number, or break it up, I don't know. So these are thinner. This is more like scrapbook paper, whereas this is more like cardstock. So I'm going to set the thinner ones over there. I don't have very many thin ones. Now I do have my coffee dyed paper, which is thinner. So that is going over there, and then all of this is vellum. So I will also put the vellum over to the side. Alright, so let's see how many pieces. Oh, one of these is not trimmed properly. This one. I must have miscalculated how I trimmed it, and that's okay. We'll just pull out the paper trimmer. So this should be 8.5. And I'll just put this in the extra pile. Okay, so that's done. Put that back in the little box down here. Okay, so now we have all of these that are 8.5 by 11. I'm going to start with 3 piles, and I'm not separating them by any kind of way. I am just, you know what, I can already tell you I'm going to need at least 4. So let's do 4. So I have 3. Let me go ahead and finish this. 3, and then 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, now we can. And I have 1 piece left over, so I'm just going to set that to the side. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the heavier cardstock. So let's see, how many thin do I have? I have 3 of the thin, but then I also have my coffee dyed, but I wanted 1 coffee dyed. So if I have 3 of the thin, I need one more thin. You know what? I'll just put this extra thick right here. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be crazy picky. Okay, coffee dyed, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 in each. I have plenty of it in my drawer over there, so I'm not stressed about that. Okay, let's see how much vellum we have. And again, I am not picking colors or anything because it's a signature. So oh, that worked out perfect. Okay, so let's see. And then I do have, and I will get another doily because I do want a doily in there somewhere. So here's a doily. And here's a doily. Here's a doily. So let me grab one more doily. And okay. Let me make sure this is just one. Alright, and the way I fold my doilies in half is I kind of just line up the holes. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is close. Let me just fold that in half. Okay, so that's going to go over there. Alright, so I have my little piles. I'm going to set those over to the side. Get my bone folder in case I need it. Let's work with this pile. Okay, so we have the vellum. Let's see. I want this to be the front page of this signature. So we're gonna start adding stuff in here. Let's do that. How about this one? I'm actually gonna flip this way. So I want the color to be up against the white. Here we go. Now let's add a piece of vellum. And then another, let's add this one. And let's go ahead and add, I'm gonna have to trim this, but I'm not gonna trim it once it's like I got the signature together, and then I'll trim it. Alright, so we're gonna add that. Let's add vellum next to that. And we'll do this one. Coffee dyed paper. Another piece of vellum. And then the cardstock. There we go. This is going to make a mighty fine signature. Now, I probably should go ahead and trim this because I can't really get it lined up. Okay, so let me just put it in here. And I got these at the Dollar Tree. It's like a big packet, has different sizes in it. Okay, scissors would be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna eyeball this, do it to the best of my ability. just using the paper as my guide without cutting the paper. Although if I cut the paper, it's not the worst thing ever, right? Now, I will save these little pieces. These will look great for tags and pockets and stuff like that. So I'm going to put those in my bee box. So if you haven't seen the first episode, watch that, because I talk about gathering supplies and how I have a bee box. It's really not a bee box. It is just a teal box that has all of my bee items in it for this junk journal. Okay, so now I'm not going to do anything with this yet. I'm going to get all my signatures together. Let's see. I don't even know how many pages this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if it's 11 pages, that makes actually 22 pages, because it's 11 this way and 11 this way. So that gives you 22 journaling pages. That is, now I'm walking through this with you, the thought processes. So this is already kind of chunky. So once I start adding tags and ephemera and all the things inside, it is going to be quite the chunky one, which is fine. I actually like it kind of chunky. Alright, so let's just go ahead and do all of them, and then I'm going to kind of see how they all fit together. Alright, let me go ahead and trim down my doily. Oh, I think this is a different size, and that's okay. I'm not stressing that. I think I got the mediums, and the last that I got was a large. Not a big deal. Just less to cut. Okay, trim that off. Like I said, saving this for the bee box. Okay. Now, which one do I want to be the front? I don't know. This is all vellum. You know what? I kind of like this one, so we're going to do this one as the front. Okay, let's just start adding stuff. Let's add this vellum. What's on the inside of this one? Let's go ahead and do a doily up against that. Let's do some vellum. I don't like that one. Yes, this one, sunflower one. The stripes. I love that blue. That blue is so pretty. You know what? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Because once you add all of the elements inside, it's not going to, like, I don't know, it's just going to all go together. So trying to figure out exactly, you know, how we're going to, okay, so that's 2. Put the papers, because honestly, it doesn't really matter once you add the things. It all works out. It just all works out beautifully. And what I'm saying is, don't overthink the order you put your papers in your signature. because it all works out in the end. I do need to trim this doily though. Alright. I enjoyed a little bit of cooler weather. It's in the 80s. This morning, it's going to get up to the 90s, but this morning it was in the 80s. So Doodlebug and I went outside in the backyard. I've been introducing her to the outside. So she can kind of get used to the sights and the sounds, because I'm going to start leash training her now that she's all fixed and healed from her surgery. I feel like I can put the harness on her, take her for walks, start leash training her, because she is going to be going with us when we travel. So I want her to be able to, you know, get out and go and do all the things. So I need her to be comfortable in the leash and the harness. Which way does this open? There we go. So I think I took her out this morning in the backyard where I can keep an eye on her. And we have some hummingbirds that come to our oh goodness, sorry, our hummingbird feeders, and so she has been loving that. Like, she just lays there and watches them and gets super excited when they're way too fast for any cat. But she's been loving it outside. So, because I tried to take her out on the leash not too long ago, a couple of days ago, but she hadn't really been outside, so every little thing just was freaking her out. So I was like, you know what, I need to get her used to the sights and the sounds and the smells of outside, so she doesn't completely freak out on the leash. I will say though, it is nowhere near like walking a dog, because dogs are like, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Cats are just like, hey, yeah, but I want to sit here and I want to smell this spot for 6 hours. Okay, so let's do, which one do I want to be my top? Let's do this one as the top. Okay. Actually, that's when I folded all of these papers, was when I was sitting on the back porch at my table, drinking my coffee, and I was like, you know what, let me fold all the papers, because seriously, y'all do not want to watch me just fold paper. It's probably tedious enough just watching me put these signatures together. Let's do something like this. No. Alright, so now we have our signatures together. Uh-oh, I forgot the doily. Where, oh where can I put this doily? Ooh, it's gonna look good against this black. There we go. Okay, so doily is in. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Now this is for 4 signatures. Because really what I'm trying to do is to determine how big my spine is going to be for the cover. That's why I wanted to get my signatures together first, make sure I'm happy with the size. And I think I am. I mean, I know she's going to be a chunky girl, but you know, let it reflect the maker. Okay, so this is all of my signatures. Now the next thing I need to do is trim this off so y'all can see how, like, anytime you're putting papers together, they kind of stick out, right? So let me get that, and I don't think my paper trimmer is going to work on that. I've used it before on thinner signatures. And what I'm doing now is this ruler. I'm really making sure that all the pages are as far down as they can be. Okay, now I'm going to take these little clips and I'm going to clip it so it stays. These I got at the Dollar Tree too, like the whole pack of them. Okay. Please tell me I put, yes I did. Alright, so I have a box cutter. And, oh, this clip has to move over. Okay. Alright. This is the worst part for me. Like, I hate this part so much. So I'm lining up my ruler with the edge of this top piece. So this top piece right here, that is my guide. So, and it does have a metal edge to it. So when I'm using the box cutter, and you can use an X-Acto knife or whatever. So it is going to be right along, and this is a self-healing mat. Okay. Oops. And it's a process. It is a process to get all of these cut through. It's like 14 pages, right? And it's okay if they're not perfect, because by the time you add lace and all the things, it's not going to be perfect anyway. I mean, it's going to look perfect, duh. Like, I'm not even making any sense here. Okay. Some of this doesn't want to cut. Like this little chunk right here, like what is the deal with that? I think I hit the ruler a little too hard on that side. And yes, I know I am cutting towards me because I can't cut the other way. But I am being very careful. I'm not going fast or anything like that. Alright, let's just see where we are. No, I think this is something that scissors can finish the job. That one right there, man. This little chunk. Okay, see, and this is why I'm doing this on film. I'm not going to edit any of this out. I'm not going to make this look like the most perfect Flawless. Oh my gosh, how does she do that? Because it's not perfect and there are flaws anytime you're doing something like this. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now. Again, it's not perfect, but by the time I add things, and once I get in there, I can probably trim up some of these. Let me move that out of the way. So that one's good. That. I was going to do that. See? Just go in and fix the little pieces that may look a little choppy. Yeah, it's time consuming. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's not. But it is well worth it in the end, right? Because then you have this beautiful journal. Okay. Now on the rest of the signatures, I am going to do them on, you know, this video. But what I'm probably going to do is fast forward through the process. Otherwise, this is going to end up being a 20-hour long video. So I will fast forward. Unless something comes up where it's like a teaching moment. You know what I mean? Something happens or whatever that I'm like, oh, this is something that would be beneficial for you to see or know or what have you, so then I will, you know, stop fast forwarding it and we will share the moment. But I just wanted to show you this is the gist of it, and how it works and the goof ups. I think it's just because it's super thick. Like it kind of chewed up this paper right here, but nothing that adding, so I just happen to have lace right here, so just so I can show you, and nothing that, you know, when I'm decorating this, that adding this piece of lace right here, you will never ever know that this paper is chewed up on the end. So don't let those kind of little things get you down. There's always a way to cover it up or fix it. And then, you know, if it's that bad and it makes you that unhappy, grab another piece of paper, fold it in half and stick it in there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So there's always options to making things the way that you have it pictured in your head. Okay. And it's not, this isn't that bad. Like, when you just look at it from this angle, get that doily down in there. Alright, so this signature is done. Now, I obviously do have to sew it, but I'm going to sew it into the cover, and that's going to be the next episode, is sewing. I'm sorry, baby. I ran over my cat and my chair. That is going to be the next episode, is me doing that. So I will be making my cover and sewing my signatures into it in the next episode. But let's get these other signatures put together and cut down. Okay, so this was the last one, and I think putting the clamps on the end helped, or I just got more accustomed to cutting it. I don't know. But that last one seemed to go a lot better than the other ones. And yeah, so this is a mess. Where's my little vacuum cleaner? There it is. I'm gonna do this, so pause. I mean, we're gonna whatever. Okay, I wanted to do that because otherwise it is a mess. Like, I still have some strings over here, but that is my signatures that I will be using in the bee journal. So let's just take a look at these beauties. This is going to be a nice size journal. I'm gonna see if I have a book that I can use, but if not, you know, a book that's gonna be big enough for this. If I don't, then I will just be making one out of cardboard, which God knows I have plenty of. So I'm gonna do some measurements and kind of figure that out. And I will do all of that on the next video. So I'm not going to do any of the process without filming it for y'all. Okay, so this has been a long video, but look at these beauties. Like, can we just, with all the things. So I'm super excited about this journal. It's going to be gorgeous. Yes, and I'm excited about y'all being on the journey with me. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss anything. And until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Bye.